So 7th at halfway for Hannah. Is that... what do you think about it, Christine?
No, I think it's excellent. The, beam and floor are probably her two best pieces. So she'll have been delighted to have performed both of them to the best of her ability. Vault, she does a 1.5, so it's not as difficult as some, but she's a good vaulter.
Competition really holding up now. Halfway through, and they're sorting themselves out. We've had disappointment for the Americans. Chinese and Russians are working well.
I'm sure the American gymnasts will come back fighting. They're both very good on the beam, and I can't see them giving in at all. And you know, these young gymnasts who are in the lead at the moment have still got to surmount that headache of a good beam performance.
Indeed they have, and those are the names. That's where the winner's going to come from. It's a very exciting first half of the competition.
I think we have Poor Grass up into 5th, but she also has probably had her two good pieces.
There we are, young lady did a really good job. Huang Quishang on bars, and she started her bid, and here she is on beam, of course. They're absolutely...
She's looked very promising for a while and never delivered. She's been absolutely the worst of the Chinese for being inconsistent, and and quite a lot of them are inconsistent. So this is her chance to show everybody and to really put herself on the map as one of the stalwarts of the team from China.
When we first saw them work beam, and they're just amazing. They get more height, they're courageous with the leaps, aren't they? They really do love this piece of apparatus.
Yes, they, like the Russians, have got a real classical style on beam.
Come over then. That's confirmation. She's in the lead at halfway. Yao Jinan and Huang Quishang lead the challenge, and Jordan Weaver, the best of the Americans at the moment, and well done to Anna Poorgrass, coming in 5th from another group.
I just nipped up and had a word with Beth, who is absolutely delighted, obviously, that Hannah's doing extremely well. So do correct me if you've already just talked about all of this stuff. But interesting to see that the top 3 from last year aren't actually in this competition, Christine. So you've got Alia Mustafina, Yang Yang, and also Rebecca Bross dislocated her knee. So the top 3 from last year, no sign of them at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yang Yang is here, but she hasn't worked all round. We saw her just on vault in team final 2 days ago, and she'd grown a lot, and obviously they feel she's not as good as these youngsters. No, very interesting. It seems a bit of a changing of the guard at the top here. The 3 top qualifiers were 16-year-olds, and when you're 16, this is your first year of senior competition. So for them all, it's their first major championships. And these American gymnasts, although they seem terribly mature and tough, they actually haven't had a great deal of international exposure. They don't tend to come and compete very much on the European circuit. They compete a lot in the USA, but it is quite different for them, I think.
Well, in the team final, Yao Yang scored 15.2. In the team final, Komova scored 13.866 on this piece of apparatus. But she did have a nightmare, didn't she?
I was going to say, which was a bit different to the 15.4 in qualification. Something in the middle would be good.
Yes. Well, the gap between 1 and 2 is 0.434. Victoria Komova, looking to do a much better beam routine than she did in the team final. Can she stay ahead of the rest of the world?
Beautiful extension through the feet. Lovely height. Look how high that front somersault was. She looks a waif. But this was what came to grief last time. One backflip, a layout, and a second layout, and she looked composed then. Standing Arabian, she gave a little fight there. She really is deceptive. Lovely split on her leaps. Beautiful soft arms and legs, and yet she's got enormous power as well. This she has to concentrate on, the full spin, leg up. The free walkover, just a little bit of nerves creeping in there, but the jump, she took the head back, she got the difficulty for it. The side somersault, difficult because you're blind as you land. Very difficult double spin, and she won't get credited that as she stepped behind, but at least she didn't fall off. Now, big concentration here. One flip, shoulders back, into the double back, makes the landing. That was a very good performance under pressure.
Indeed. Yeah, maybe a few tenths away for execution, but she didn't lose anything on difficulty, and that's the key.
She fought. She wasn't giving up there.
There were signs of presence, and you used the word, Christine, composure as well. Even after those little wobbles, plenty of attack here. This is what gave her problems in the team, but look at that, shoulders and hips, lovely and square. Just a sign that she's more in control. Cracker this. Yeah. Standing Arabian, look at this, and then the first of the adjustments, shall we call it, that were necessary.
Well, she's going to be moving on to floor next with much more landing room, of course. Bit safer, so she'll be very happy to get that piece out the way.
She really is quite a special gymnast. Classical but powerful. Very often the willowy type of gymnast isn't.
Whelan, flying in 7th. Let's have a look. Come on, Hannah.
Come on, big round off, lift off the top. Lovely 1.5 twist. Wow, that was a really good vault.
That was an absolute beauty.
I'm surprised you stayed in your seat now. It was really impressive. Christine's up on her feet.
I am.
So am I, for that matter.
She's greeted there by her coach, Amanda Reddin, of course. Beth's coach, trains with Beth. See, textbook, met the floor beautifully. Hands back quickly into the platform, wraps strongly. Really gives nothing away there.
I think she's going to go higher up the leaderboard, you know. Well, currently, she's in the lead. It's 4.4. Get in, Hannah. Hannah's lead is short-lived. Victoria come over, 14.683. So she leads Hannah by 2 marks.
And that was almost 1 mark down on the stunning 15.4 and qualification. So she has left the door open to a really strong challenge.
You get the feeling this is going to be yet another tight competition. It's unbelievable out there.
Yang Guishang, her beam. Can she stay put? Can she get through it? She needs to.
Well, we've seen an excellent routine from Komova be punished with tiny adjustments. She doesn't need to make any. She can't afford to. Quite rightly, the judges are on top of the game. Beautiful. Just drifts and floats through the scales, and she's lost her foot as I speak.
Well, she was lying in 3rd.
1 foot on, 1 foot off, and the ankle must have scraped down the side of the beam. Very uncomfortable. But she's back on, look. And that is solid. And that was courageous. Head well back. Very little time to compose herself. She hops straight back on, and she's going well now, once again. I don't want to put commentator's curse on, but the one error was very expensive. She's back in control. Again, takes the head well back. This is important. 360, no problem. Now then. Double pike nailed, just the one error, but what an expensive one.
It seemed so uncharacteristic to the rest of the routine.
It did. She was a little bit slow and flat on that backflip. You know, she didn't really. They have to use the flip to give them some power to get up into the summy.
She's obviously feeling that scrape as well.
Is this the thing? You see, she was really almost leaning forwards when she took off, so she didn't get her weight onto the second foot, but planted the feet well on the end there for the double pike back dismount. She will be deducted for this landing, because you can see when the feet land, the chest is facing the floor. They can take up to 0.5 off for that. So I think that will be a costly beam routine.
Well, after the last piece of apparatus, Komova was leading. Yao Xinjiang second. Huang Qingxiang, looking at here, just had that little mishap, was in third. Chance to see Vanessa Ferrari from Italy, now 20 years old. Kind of watched her grow through the years. She was sixth on floor, the last World Championships, European floor champion.
She burst onto the scene in 2006, becoming world champion. Look at that, double twisting, double back. Now that's the first time since then that we've seen her compete that. And into the single twisting double back. Huge jump. Quite a mature performer now. 1.5 into full twisting front. That all-important series of leaps. You can see the grim determination, make this final tumble, lifts into a great double pike. This is fabulous.
Well, Ferrari was up in the top 8, just behind Hannah Whelan. Clawing her way up.
It's been so impressive to see her. She won World Championships so young, and yet far from going away when the time got tough. She's stuck in there and each year come back and fought to regain a little bit of her confidence. But this, the double twisting double back, was what she competed in her first Worlds. And we haven't seen it again until this year, have we, Mitch?
Very impressive work.
What's the thing with her? I mean, she did grow, didn't she? Loads. I mean, she was like a little pin when we first saw her, and had to reversion all of her work. Similarly, I mean, with Hannah Whelan as well. Hannah's had a growing spurt. That's
right. Hannah was the baby of the team in Beijing and has really grown and reorganised her work.
Shang, second now. She's moved up a place. 13.633, but some big gymnasts to come on this piece. Poor grass. Vaulting.
She's had her best two pieces. What she could produce on vault. Just playing safe, but it was beautifully clean. 5 turret, full twist in the straight somersault position. Lovely and clean, wasn't it?
Very, very nice. Was 5th in the all-round last year.